Remember in science class where we learned to design an experiment to test a hypothesis? When it comes to impact measurement, we can apply those same principles to understand and grow the impact of social enterprises. These are what we call social impact experiments. So today, let's define a social impact experiment, go through a real-world example, and show you how to design one from scratch yourself. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Chris Gaines, and if you're looking to build an effective impact strategy, you're in the right place. So let's start off with the basics. What is a social impact experiment? To put it simply, it's a short, time-bound test of your product or services. It allows you to quickly gather information on the impact you're having on your stakeholders so you can learn, course correct, and refine your theory of change. This style of experiment uses concepts from the social science, business, and nonprofit sectors in order to solve a key challenge for social enterprises. Now, to clearly understand the theory of social impact experiments, we need to take a page right out of the tech startup playbook. Now, as you probably know, impact measurement is complex and challenging. In the field, SOPACT has found many organizations running into the same struggles. Things like spending months getting all of your stakeholders aligned on the same page, getting bogged down in creating the perfect theory of change, and especially ending up with too many outcomes and metrics to tell a cohesive story. Obviously, addressing these things is a huge priority for any organization. Social impact experiments give organizations a framework to quickly test out an imperfect theory of change. They can test it out on a small scale and then quickly get feedback from clients and stakeholders. Social impact experiments are based on the idea that humans and organizations are more efficient by learning by doing instead of excessive planning. It's much more efficient for an organization to experiment frequently and continuously improve their theory of change with real-world experience than to present a carefully planned but untested theory of change at the end of the fiscal year. The connection to tech becomes a lot more obvious when you think about Silicon Valley terms like lean, agile, and scrum. The lean software development approach is all about using continuous experiments to deliver maximum value with minimum resources, which obviously explains why it's popular with startups. The approach is also customer-centric and relies on regular surveys and customer satisfaction metrics like NPS or Net Promoter Score. While a standard solution might roll out to an entire school district all at once, a lean approach might roll out to a single school, gain feedback, and then expand to a few more schools at a time, constantly iterating and improving along the way. By quickly applying customer feedback to your next release, the lean approach is a fast and efficient way to determine if the market shows a true need for your product or service. This is what we call product market fit. And when it comes to tech, good luck getting your next big round of investment if you can't prove to investors that the market really wants what you're offering. Now let's apply the same lean approach to a social impact example. Imagine your community is excessively likely to experience natural disasters like floods, earthquakes, fires, tornadoes, etc. Now you, as an expert in the community, created a 1-hour training course to help prepare people for these different types of disasters. In this case, this is how your basic theory of change looks. Firstly, you provide a teacher, classroom, and learning materials. Then, community members attend said 1-hour course. After that course, community members are assumed to be trained. The training that they receive then should result in them creating a plan and emergency kits, and at that point the community should be prepared for an emergency. Now some people might stop right here and go teach their courses and hope for the best, but you have enough experience to know that just giving out information is not enough to have a desired result. So instead, you run a social impact experiment. You design your course materials, and you choose a single apartment complex to train all of the community members in. After 1 month, you send out a participant survey to see how many actually followed through and if they actually followed your theory of change to the desired result. In this case, the feedback shows that most did not make an emergency plan, and most participants were more fearful of crime than they were of natural disasters. Now, with this information as an expert, you can go back and refine your theory of change in order to increase the odds of getting the desired result. This could involve changing your course materials, bringing in different statistics, bringing in different examples, and any host of different ideas that you could try and experiment with using the same process. Your goal is to make sure that stakeholders find true value in your course and that your output and activities actually result in real behavior changes. So, how do we design our own social impact experiment? There are 4 key aspects to focus on: a simple theory of change, a short time frame, say 2 to 4 months, a simple objective that is controllable and prioritized by the stakeholder, and a well-designed survey to collect stakeholder feedback. Now, the survey's design is critical. It must ask the right kind of open-ended questions, mitigate bias, and align with the 5 dimensions of impact. Of course, you'll also need to make sure that you have a good sample size of respondents, and make sure that they're aware of the survey before the experiment begins. This makes sure that they're actively thinking about some of the information that you want to get out of them at the end of the survey. Once you've collected the results of your survey, analyze them, apply them to your theory of change, and then iterate again. So again, why do we use social impact experiments? We all know that organizations get bogged down in strategic planning, and social impact experiments offer an efficient way to mitigate the negatives of the planning process by focusing on just getting started and learning by doing. Social impact experiments are a great way to gather immediate information on the impact you're having on your stakeholders. And using the same concepts found in technology development, it allows you to maximize the value for your stakeholders while minimizing the resources you have to expend to achieve that. SOPACT is committed to finding the stakeholder's voice in impact measurement. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you learned something new, and I'm curious to hear what issues you and your organization are currently having when it comes to defining your theory of change. Drop a comment down below and let's get the discussion started. And don't forget to head to sopact.com to gain a lot more insight and knowledge on everything to do with impact management. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up, the notification bell, and subscribe because we have a lot more content coming your way very soon. So until then, this has been Chris Gaines. I'll catch you in the next one.